Hello, sports fans, and welcome to StatSports League Season 11 inside the SSL, where we go through all of the action, recap the action from week one of the games. It's been an exciting weekend of games for us, I think. A lot of new faces that we've not seen on the court before, returning champions as well, and a very strong, surprising team. Not surprising, but a very strong showing from a favorite in Season 11, right, Han? I'm Andre here, and this is...
Hi, Rezan. Excited. First episode of this new show we're trying to bring for everybody, so hopefully you guys will like it. Like you said, breakdown of everything that happened this weekend.
That's right, and we'll go through a couple of games that we think were the most exciting of this weekend, as well as go through what we think as well is our power rankings for week one. Mind you, that a couple of teams did not play this week, so the power rankings will only be really focusing on the teams that actually played games,
Yep.
right? Joined today by our main man, the insider who knows everything there is about the goings on in SSL, as well as a star of our trivia for week one. Remember, please answer that trivia. If you don't know, please watch our live stream again. It's Isaac Go. Isaac Go, how are you doing?
Good. I'm more well known as the trash man, as was once introduced like that last 2 weeks.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Again, Isaac also played this weekend as well. He plays for Team Stuffy X, right? So let's just jump right into this. Let's talk about the games that we are featuring. One of the games that we thought would be really exciting was involving a team that had just joined us this season with some familiar faces as well. It's Tap It Out versus the ISKL Panthers. What did you think about the game, Han?
A good game. ISKL Panthers last season kind of finished on a high note. They came back, a lot of returning players for them. Of course, ISKL, one of the younger teams in the tournament, and on the other side was Tap It Out, led by their captain Shogi Gan, who's making a return to SSL. And I think we wanted to talk about that matchup of the centers of that game. So Shogi and Ida Lee on the opposite end there. So
yeah, they're the 2 meter centers. I think Ida is just a shade under 2 meters. I think Shogi lists himself as 203 cm, so he is just a little bit above 2 meters. We'll take that officially. So let's talk about that matchup. What did you think about how Tap It Out played? Because that was really surprising for me to see that kind of the firepower they brought.
Yeah, definitely firepower. I mean, all those guys are experienced players, especially when you compare it to the younger Panthers guys. A lot of the players have played on different levels. Their big man Megan played really well. He had 30 points and 11 rebounds. Also, Tam had 30 points and 11s. I think he played the entire game, hadn't sat out at all. But talking about the centers, I mean, it was really Shogi that dominated that matchup. Yep. He finished with 5 points, 12 rebounds, 8 blocks to Ida's disappointing 2 points and 3 rebounds. But, it's a long game. I mean, it's a long season, so we'll see.
Yeah, and not just that, but Ida didn't actually guard Shogi so much. He was stuck guarding Megan, so that was a little tougher for Ida, I think. Shogi, 8 blocks. I know he thinks he got 10, and then you came by the commentator's booth and said you got 10. But I think 8 blocks, 12 rebounds, a double-double, only 5 points. I mean, Shogi, I think you can do a little bit better than that. Isaac, any takes on this game? What do you think?
I think Shogi is already making his presence well known by coming back with 8 blocks in his first game, and it's only going to get more and more from here onwards. And yeah, overall it's a good game between both teams. I'm surprised it's not really that much of a blowout, although ISKL Panthers didn't have Jackson on the game. It would have probably made a difference. Ida would have probably be more involved. Having Jackson as point guard, and their 2-man game is always on point. But overall, yeah, a good game.
Yeah, and that said, shout out to their other guards, Ethan and Yannick. Neither shot too well, but Yannick ended up with 19 points, and Ethan with 17. Overall, good effort by ISKL.
Yeah, I think so too. Again, if you take out that first brutal quarter of 30-2, it was only a 3-point game. So I think they do have opportunities to really make an impact. ISKL do. Let's move on to the next storyline that we're looking at. It's the matchup that we always know every season will be upon us. Every season, We always talk about this. Every season we talk about these two teams. It is the KL Twin Towers and AVA. It's like a long-standing romance that, you know, has stood the test of time, 5 seasons now, and they still keep on playing. And every time they play, it's always a competitive game.
Yeah, they can't get away from each other. Yeah, and this time around, the Twin Towers, a little bit of a different look. I think they've changed up their roster a little bit. A few guys out of rotation, a few guys injured as well, unfortunately, for the Twin Towers. But you know, the staple Kazuki Kawata was there, of course, and as well as Hiromasa. Kazuki finished with 17 and 13 rebounds, and Hiromasa had 19 and 7. But it was AVA. They came out on top today, or this weekend.
Yeah, AVA really the team that showed their size really mattered, because they had the much bigger players on the team, and KL Twin Towers, they gave it a good shot and they were close all the way throughout this game, but he was unable. Whenever AVA needed a bucket, all they did was throw it into the post and, you know, posted up their big man, and it really came through for them.
Brian Chan, 21 points, 8 rebounds. Steven Wen, 20 points and 4 rebounds. But to me, the most memorable part of the game was the new guy on the Twin Towers. The guy listed, his name is literally listed as Crazy Shota. I need to find out what his actual name is, but listed on our app right now as Crazy Shota. 9 points and 5 rebounds, but man, that guy was all energy and he was barking nonstop.
Yeah, he had a couple of assists as well, I think, right? And he really was, I guess, the energy guy, right? I mean, KL Twin Towers, don't get me wrong, the KL Twin Towers always play with energy, but that level of vocal intensity has never existed with the KL Twin Towers. They're not a team that's very loud generally, but yeah, it was fun to watch. I commentated that game, and I remember that he committed a crazy shot, committed a foul, and he's looking at his hand like, why did you do that to me? Like, you know, you love that kind of emotion and that kind of, it's almost chemistry, the charisma, right, that he's got. Isaac, do we actually know if his name is Crazy?
I'm not sure. I'll have to find that out for you guys as well. But yeah, I think sometimes we all need that kind of player. If you're not really good at physical basketball, you have to be good at playing mind games with them. So sometimes you need that kind of players, you know. He at least represents 50 audience with just his sound, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And the 9 points he had, it's not really like a bad or a lucky shot. Those are crucial points. Crucial 9 points that help the Twin Towers to to let Twin Towers still be in that game, but nevertheless, good effort by Twin Towers. Kind of undermanned against the new lineup of AVA. AVA recruited some of the new players who actually had 20 points. Steven, really good pickup there. Probably gonna replace Pang Chiren, who is out due to injury. But yeah, I think this is a better AVA compared to previous season, and no doubt the Twin Towers, Brian Chan Yongwei and Ian Leong, as always giving their best. I think the Twin Towers is not to be underestimated at all.
I like how you worked in the Twin Towers versus the Twin Towers. That's a good wordplay there. Okay, great. Let's move on to our next storyline. It's Advanced Pro. So Advanced Pro returning again for another season of SSL. Thank you very much for always participating in Advanced Pro. They are back-to-back champions looking to make a three-peat. This is going to be, has another team three-peated? Did the Mahajaya Giants / Kriegers three-peat?
Yeah, it depends how we're going to classify the teams, right? Like there's been changing of hands as far as the names and sponsorships.
Correct.
But if you're talking about core players, I think you could maybe count those guys as three-peating.
Yeah, but they did not maintain the same team, so technically no team has actually three-peated, right? So this would be the first team to attempt to three-peat, and we shall see how that goes. But let's talk about that game. They played against a new team to SSL, the Young Thunder, a very young team. I think most of those players were 19 or 18 or 16 or something like that. Very young. But they showed no fear versus a very experienced Advanced Pro.
Yeah, and just like the Panthers this week, and as well as Atlas Ballers this weekend, the Young Thunder came up against pretty experienced, a pretty experienced team, and obviously Advanced Pro from 1 to 15 all know what they're doing. And so, it was a tough start for the Thunder to face them, but yeah, Harjeet Singh had 25 points, 9 rebounds, 9 rebounds, and he was 5 for 7 from 3. So these guys were hitting some crazy shots against the Advanced Pro team. Yeah.
Definitely some tough 3-point shots. Live, I think I'm looking forward to seeing whether he can replicate this performance game to game. Like, was this one of those things where he was just on fire from downtown, or is this how this kid plays? Because I've not seen him play before, right?
But you said it correctly just now. They were pretty fearless going into it. I don't know if they knew who they were playing against, to be honest. Because Advanced Pro had 5 players in double figures. They were the normal Advanced Pro that you see. They were technically undermanned this weekend. Yeah. But I mean, if that's what undermanned looks like, yeah, exactly. So Michael with 30 points, 5 rebounds, and Sun Peng Put with 28 and 6.
Yeah, 28 and 6, and I know the man that we fondly call John Stockton of their team, 11 assists in only 19 minutes. That's a great feat. I think they had like almost 30 assists, like 29 assists, 28 assists on 40 something baskets. So they assisted more than half of their baskets. Any insight takes into this game?
Advanced Pro, I'm loving your gray new set of uniforms. Really bright gray, and a lot of touchdown passes. We were almost commenting the game and we thought it was flag football, like rugby and stuff. There was so much fast breaks. Feeding the ball inside for Advanced Pro and stuff like that. And like you mentioned, young Thunders, coached by Coach Ghazi. Shout out Coach Ghazi. I think Coach Ghazi didn't give them like any sort of information about who these Advanced Pros were. So they were being fearless and stuff like that. And
that's probably for the best.
Yeah, for the best.
Yeah, and they ended up putting up 76 points, which is pretty impressive against. Even though you're right, the pace was pretty fast and everything, but to put up 76 points against Advanced Pro is a pretty good feat. Yeah.
Wolverines can do that.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. This man.
Okay, let's move on to our power rankings. So this is where I think there was less debate. This is only week 1. Some teams have not played, so not too much debate so much in terms of where the teams stand. Why don't you walk us through those power rankings? I know we had some conversations already, Han.
So these power rankings, obviously, like you said, they're based off of who's played so far, what we kind of saw from the first week. It's only been 1 week, and they're not exactly official or set in stone. I know some of us didn't agree either, but here's a look at the power rankings that we have. At the top of the list, after a dominating performance against Atlas Ballers, is Merit Farm. These guys, just watching them after one game, I think they're going to be one of the favorites to dethrone Advanced Pro. They just have depth across their roster, and they have scorers and they have defenders. Only weak point I would say perhaps that they have is they're a little bit undersized, but they make it up with their guard play and their speed and their acumen. So we have Merit Farm at the top, Advanced Pro at number 2, Tap It Out with their dominating performance against the Panthers. We have at number 3. I think they'll be interesting to see going forward. They're not as deep as Merit Farm, but they are a legitimate team. The number 4 team is XUM. I thought they had a great game against Juggernaut. A very entertaining game, one of the most entertaining games this weekend. We had a lot of blowouts this weekend, but XUM I thought was true to form. Back to the old ways of XUM. They have a couple new players as well. But yeah, I think they'll be pretty good. AVA at number 5, Stuffy number 6, and then Panthers and the rest of the guys going down the list. Juggernauts is we had them just below Panthers just because we thought Panthers actually played pretty well considering who they were up against. But the Juggernauts started well. They kind of fell apart a little bit later on, but they are at number 8, number 9, Twin Towers, 10, Young Thunder, 11, PhD, and Atlas Ballers at number 12. They are the last on the list when it comes to the guys that played this weekend. I think because we all had high hopes for Atlas Ballers. They had a stacked team, young guys, but not sure what they look like yet, and they came across a very tough team in Merit Farm first week.
And let's talk about Atlas Ballers for a second. One of the things that we also really look forward to with Atlas, because of a couple of the new guys in the squad, is seeing how they gel together. And it was going to be tough versus a very, number one, experienced experienced team like Merit Farm. Merit Farm has Addy on the team. When you run an offense through a guard like him who can control the pace and control the ball, and Addy played well. He had I think he had 10 assists. He's going to get you out of your rhythm every single time. So they definitely had the hardest game, I think, versus Merit Farm. I'm not complaining about that ranking so much. I believe Merit Farm's number 1, Advanced Pros number 2, Tap It Up 3, XUM 4. I'm curious whether Stuffy should be higher on that list. Isaac, what do you think? Does Stuffy deserve? I know Stuffy had a pretty good win versus who did they play? PhD, right? Who was their star player? Stuffy's star player?
Stuffy star player.
Man of the match, Iggy, with 26 points.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Some people beg to differ, but and going back to Alice Borders, like what you said, Merit Farm may be undersized, but I'm not sure why Alice Borders is not using their new big man Daniel Kato, who only had 2 points in that game. Right. So I think they're gonna work some strategy out between.
And not just him, they have Chen Hanwen as well. Yes. They've got Oleg. They've got some decent size. But I think a lot of it has to do with chemistry, maybe a lack of leadership. With a lot of young guys that aren't sure what direction they want to go yet, and no floor leaders. They lost their captain from last season. Right. I think that's the.
Yeah, they were definitely out of it throughout the game. Like you could see every single time one of the players touched the ball, they were just trying to drive it to the teeth of the defense. Right. I think they didn't quite figure out what they were trying to do. But again, those are the power rankings. Let us know if you think that your team should be higher or should be lower. The last 3 teams on that list again have not played, so they're not really ranked in any specific order. And let us know what you think, and we can see whether we can move on past. We can move your team up or down. Okay, let's go on to that. The last subject that we want to talk about today. It's going to be the new features for SSL 11. I know we've got a whole bunch of teams who have not participated in SSL before, and we've got a bunch of returning guys as well. For those who have just joined us or those who returned, you would have already experienced it over for week 1, right? So we've got profile photos being taken in our media room at the back right now. So it's almost like NBA Media Day, I guess you could say. I know some of the players were pretty excited to be able to put on their best smiles for the camera, and it's what we're trying to do to always increase the level of participation for the team, make them feel a little bit more pro for the average Joe, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's talk about our sponsors, Han, this season. Who we have for sponsors for season 11?
As we mentioned during the captain's meeting, we've got Bauer Fine coming in again, supporting us with some prizes for the winners. We're going to do a lot of giveaways as well as we go during the season. So you guys make sure you tune into the live streams. We have trivia questions all weekend. This past weekend was about our one and only Isaac Go. So I don't know if anyone's gotten it right yet.
For my first look, no, I don't think anyone has.
And so we are extending that for another week, not next week, but the week after.
Yep.
We have games again. The prize for that is actually sponsored by Li Ning. Cash vouchers there to be won. So thank you as well to Li Ning for sponsoring us this season.
And what you've also noticed, if you were on the court for the first time, or if you're watching this stream as well for this first week, is that we've got another angle for live stream. So there's a second angle, there's a second camera all around the court, just giving us a different angle on live stream. It's going to help increase the excitement for getting a little bit closer to the action. At the same time, we're also using that camera for interviews and crowd shots and whatever else. So we're going to be able to get you guys closer to SSL Season 11 action. And lastly, just before I forget, those of you who are participating in SSL, please make sure to download Huddle. Your stats are going to be on Huddle, right? The Huddle, just go on to the Huddle app. Huddle World on the Google Play Store or the iOS store, App Store. Look for Huddle World and download that. You can see your stats in StatSports League under the League tab. Then you can also claim your profile so that other people who view your public profile can also see that you participated in SSL Season 11 or the previous ones as well. As you'll see, if you are a long-standing participant in SSL, we would have already added a whole bunch of stats from the previous seasons. We're slowly adding that in as we go. I think we're up to about Season 4. Are we up to Season 4 right now? Right, so we've got Season 1 to 4, and then we've got Season 9, 10, and 11 on the app. So we're just going to fill in the gaps, and soon you'll be able to claim all of your previous seasons on the Huddle app.
Yeah, and not only that, other partner leagues as well on there. So guys that played in the D League, the NPL D League, for example, in the Phase Open, the Urban Basketball League this past few months. All the stats are on there. Again, we want you guys to be able to build up your career and kind of see it all in one place. That being said, we also have live stats going on as well this season. So thank you to Genius Sports for that, for being our official scoring technology partner. But the difference between that and Huddle obviously is when you get onto Huddle, you'll get to see your whole profile and that whole career that you're building up in game to game as well.
That's right. And again, if you're not sure how to go about it, just drop us a line. Drop us a line at either our StatSports League Facebook or on our Huddle Facebook, and we'll help you, walk you through how you can go ahead and claim that profile. You have already seen that video that was playing just now, and we'll be able to help you out. Anything else that you want to go over for the show, huh?
No, final thoughts. I'm excited. I hope you guys like this new format. Make sure you guys write in, if you're watching right now. And let us know, or even afterwards, what you want to see, what else you want us to cover. We're also going to have on Wednesday a new little show that's going to be coming out. We'll leave it until Wednesday for you guys to see that. But I'm excited. I think this season's going to be really interesting. The field is wide open. And again, there's a few teams that haven't played yet, including Bandwagon. We're excited to get going. We need to get back into practice, though. We've missed a couple sessions here, so hopefully we'll be ready in a couple weeks. But yeah.
Any final thoughts?
Stuffy will win it all.
There you go. He's already. The insider has made his prediction. Stuffy wins the championship, champion of Season 11.
Will upset the first three in the power ranking just now.
Wow.
Just so Advanced Pro, Merit Farm, take note. Isaac thinks that Stuffy will beat you. Just take note. All right, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Han. Thank you, Isaac. It's been a great first episode. We will be doing this every Monday after games, right? So every week that we've got a game weekend, we will be doing this show, talking about it. Let us know what you want to see in this show. We have a couple of ideas. If you guys wear some flashy shoes, maybe we'll try to feature you guys as well. But let us know what you think, and see you guys next time.